County Emergency Management promoting Hurricane Preparedness Week this week. It's definitely time to start being prepared. It's just around the corner, and St. Johns County Emergency Management wants you to be ready. The National Hurricane Center's Hurricane Preparedness Week runs from May 4th through May 10th, and officials are urging residents to start planning now for the upcoming Atlantic hurricane season, which begins June 1st, runs through November 30th. I think that hurricane van going to be something serious. The county's Hurricane Preparedness Guide is available online at Let me start over. Long-ass website. sjcemergencymanagement.com, with free printed copies available at the St. Johns County Public Library branches. St. Johns County Emergency Management Deputy Kelly Wilson reminds everyone that one of the first steps is to check your evacuation zone. You can do that online using the My Evacuation Zone tool at that website by simply entering your address. Staying informed, also critical. Residents are encouraged to sign up for emergency alert at alertstjohns.com. I've got those. I do get those alerts to the phone. It's helpful. Sometimes it's helpful. Sometimes it'll start raining, and then 5 minutes later, it will tell me that it's going to rain. Yeah. To receive real-time notifications via phone, email, or text. You can also opt in for Nixle alerts by texting St. John's EOC to 888-777. And for the most local, up-to-date information, follow St. Johns County Emergency Management on Facebook. Now, Troy, are you going to be taking the beast out during hurricane season?
I will not drive it across the bridge.
Okay. Right.
You learned?
Yeah. I think I've only scolded Pete like twice in our relationship of the 12 years we've been doing this together.
That was one of them.
That was one of them. Yeah. There was another one. He used a word that I was like, we can't use that word anymore.
I found that out on my own. I found that did not take me long to figure out I should not use that word again.
Those are the only 2 times I put any restrictions on Pete at all. We did we got him a bulletproof vest finally. So
yeah, we did.
Yeah. It's around here somewhere.
I think that's been reclaimed by its owner.
Oh,
I did not own that bulletproof vest.
Take it back.
The sheriff?
And the sheriff gave me one on loan. No, he didn't. We're not going to get the sheriff in trouble. He definitely was not the one who gave me the bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Officials say preparation is key. And now is the time to make a plan, gather supplies, and ensure your family knows what to do in case of a storm. What was the worst place you guys have ever evacuated to? I evacuated one year, I think it was during Matthew, and we went to a hotel in Tallahassee where someone I knew had a hotel room, but there wasn't room for everybody in the hotel room, so I slept in my car for 2 days with my dogs. That was rough. But at least there was a Checkers right around the corner.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't complain about any of the places we went. I mean, the worst one for me was when I actually was working with the county and I had to stay at the EOC. You remember when the 3 storms like crossed over? And I was at the EOC for 42 days. I was only home for like 2 of those. Like out there, like, and just I was calling in, I was, checking it, and then I was spending all my nights at the EOC for like a month. Oh, and man. Now that one sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty horrible. And Blake and his brother were home with their mom. But I mean, that one sucked. That was the worst I had to do there. So.
Yeah, that does not sound fun.
No, it wasn't in my top 5 things.
The worst ones for us, or me and my brother, were the ones we never evacuated. We'd always stay, and then they would shut the whole city down.
Yeah, and
then you couldn't really go around, and we'd go surfing and do random stuff. But yeah, I only evacuated twice. One was a hotel room right off of State Road 16 to 95. Me, my mom, Trav, and Vern went. And then the other one, I didn't have to go, but I had an event in Atlanta. So we just went up to Atlanta and stayed at the Lowe's.
You was already planned.
Yeah, I was already going anyway, so
worked out.
I just took everybody else with me, and we ended up going to the Lowe's in Atlanta and hung out for the weekend and came back.
I stayed
ones.
for Irma downtown, and I probably shouldn't have. But my neighbor next door, she was in her late 80s, and she had refused to leave, and I was like, okay,
if you're not, I'm not.
I sent the boys and their mom to a hotel that we'd arranged, but she just wouldn't leave, and I was like, okay, just come to the hotel with us. I'll get your own room. And she
didn't want to do it. Yeah,
she wouldn't do it. So I stayed there, and I really shouldn't have stayed there.
I think that was the same one. Sorry that we had to get out for Irma.
I remember there was one where you called in live, or you sent us some videos or something to the show where the water was up to your last step. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And that's not, you guys got a somewhat high porch.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and you're far away from water. I mean,
pool.
you're in between water,
Yeah,
but
no,
yeah, that's sketchy.
I have the old shit stick. So the old shit stick is exactly the height of when the water comes in, and it only had this much
Breathing room on it.
this much left
Wow.
on the old shit stick. So.
Oh,
Dang it, man.
scary, man. Yeah, definitely. If you're in downtown St. Augustine, make sure you are prepared.
Mm-hmm.